Have you guys ever thought about who you surround yourself with matters and why you make the friends that you make? I've had a couple conversations with my friends recently, and we're just talking about some issues with friendship and maybe how you're supposed to maintain them. I think having friends in your life, no matter who it is a reflection of where you are in life, how you're able to hold these people, and the capacity that you're able to allow and receive this kind of treatment from them. In order to meet people, you do have to be at a certain headspace where you are able to maintain it well, and not just that, but know how to elevate certain friendships, correct friendships when they need to be corrected, right? Iron sharpens iron, okay? You do kind of need to surround yourself with people that are like-minded like you in order to level up, because if you guys don't have the same goals, if you guys don't have the same values or interests, not only is it going to be different and difficult, but it's going to be a little bit out of the way for you to achieve your own dreams. You're the one who wants to achieve your goals. You're the one who gets to set kind of your own life path. If people don't align with that and are just not in the same spot, that doesn't mean they have to come with you, and that doesn't mean you have to end the friendship. It just goes to say that it does matter. It says a lot about who and how you want to be represented. It's like representing a team, representing a name, representing a brand, and you should be proud of these things that you're representing. You don't let these things go that easily. If you have these certain standards in relationships or friendships or connections or whatever, you're gonna have to think about the impact it has in your life. If someone doesn't really add value to it or isn't really serving you in a way that you can kind of emotionally feel when it's not right, you can step away from that. Yes, maybe I have different standards. Maybe I do have higher standards or higher expectations for these people to meet because I don't want to be associated with these kind of people, and that's just the reality of it. Like I said in my other videos, it's like saying if you're friends with 3 fools, you're gonna become the 4th fool. When you look at a group of people, and if they're acting childish, if they're acting immature, they're going to be associated with that kind of behavior. People do have a perception. You kind of start to act like those people. And not only that, they think that that behavior is okay. You have to be aware that these things do have an effect, whether you like it or not, okay? I asked myself this question actually. Even if there are people acting like that, are you able to be the bigger person and break that group apart or walk away from it, you know? And sometimes you can interfere and just try to help and like be able to discern whether it's a good thing or not. But most of the time, you cannot actively join those people. You cannot be joining and sitting with a group of pigs because they like playing with mud, but you're not a pig. You just cannot be sitting with them. I don't know what that verse is from the Bible, but you really cannot put yourself in an environment like that if you are trying to become better. If you are allowing that, that goes a long way. If you just allow these people to treat you like this, for example, or if you allow certain behaviors like disrespect to happen in your life, people are going to think, oh, maybe it is okay. She's going to take whatever because she allows the disrespect to happen in her life without the consequences. So there you go. When something doesn't go right for you, maybe in relationships or something in life, maybe because I did nothing to change my boundary of it, I'm not actively changing the environment of it. Does that make sense, y'all? Okay, I'm gonna be so honest. Sometimes I don't know what to say in my videos. It doesn't all just come naturally. Yes, sometimes it might be a phase in my life where I'm going through something and suddenly I have so much to say. But other times, it's not as easy. But I know I have to put content out, so I do have to kind of talk about something that might not be quite as relatable to me. This goes to show sometimes when you don't want to do certain things still need to get done. And this is what I'm trying to dedicate part of my craft to. So here I am. No, I've had some really good conversations lately about how friends can shape you or just affect your life in general. People have asked me like, oh, do you have any friend issues? And every time, literally without a doubt, without hesitation, without question, I say no. I do not have friends that are disrespectful to me. I do not have friends that are liars. I do not have friends that are not trustworthy. And I hold all of these things to myself too. You know, I hold them accountable and they hold me accountable. And I was telling my friend earlier that this does not pertain to what is conditional. My friendships with my closest friends are not conditional. They are my best friend because of who they are as a person. They do not need to do anything for me. I do not need to do anything for them. And we accept each other as it is, but we grow together, we go through life experiences together, but at the same time, live our lives. I think my friendships are literally such a good example of what I am truly looking for in this life, whether that's romantic, platonic, anything, right? I'm not saying they can't be better. I'm not saying it is perfect, but I think I have a very good foundation. A lot of people would go through certain friendship issues or just arguments and stuff like that, and they break off, I wouldn't even consider that, because if there were a problem to arise, we would attack the problem together, and stuff like that just doesn't really happen. Going back to that, certain things can expose you to certain situations, to certain settings, to certain people, and these are the friends that I'm meeting where my exposure to these things don't even happen. So in order to really level up your environment and your setting, you really need to limit the exposure and access you have to these things that you're not trying to look for anymore. You need to remove the access of these people. You don't have access to that anymore, so it kind of fasts you from it. Now I'm not exposed to any of that, so there's no chance of that even happening. That's really the only answer, guys. You do have to kind of remove that from your life in order to see what your life is without it, because I've been there. Okay, I'm continuing my video in my room because it's been a couple days. I'm gonna continue on with why iron can only sharpen iron. People overlook it as you should have good friends around you, right? And you should, But I think it's more than that. Sorry, I'm also fixing the video right now. What comes down to it may confuse you guys. Don't get triggered. Don't get completely triggered when they require you to step up and work with what you're not comfortable with, because real friends are gonna clock you on what you're supposed to be doing. Real friends are gonna hold you accountable. They're going to call you out on the things that you could be doing better, or you guys said you were gonna do, and it's not gonna be perfect all the time, and you guys know what the line is. When someone's just being a bad friend, when someone's just lying to you and saying all these things just to put you down. But I'm talking about when you genuinely have a real person by your side. Don't lose sight of that just because it starts to get uncomfortable. You have to learn how to sit with the uncomfortable. And iron literally is able to sharpen iron because of the friction that it causes. It doesn't sharpen by just sitting next to it. It doesn't sharpen by just being comfortable with it. If your friends don't challenge you, call you out, or make you better, or just want to strive to be a better person, they are not sharpening you. It's gonna be hard for some people to grasp what that really means if they don't have a real friend that pushes them to genuinely become the best versions of themselves. Because most people do it through jealousy. Most people do it through insecurity, a place of that they just don't want you to become better than them. And most people are like that. It's hard for them to genuinely feel true happiness and joy for you because you could be doing better than them. Not a lot of people like to see that. And not a lot of people like to see someone actually making progress. It's hard. Obviously you want to be there, but you can't do that without allowing people to do that too. And true companionship, true sportsmanship, or brotherhood or sisterhood isn't about comfortability all the time. It's about accountability. It's about honesty. It's about making each other strong and wise and holy. And key word here, it's making each other. It's not supposed to be one-sided. You're supposed to know if someone is good for you or meant for you, Like you will feel these things in your life when they're happening. If there's no pressure, then there's no sharpening. And I'm not saying this needs to be a constant upgrade all the time. It can't be a constant negative criticism all the time, like you need to be doing better, you need to be doing this, and this is what I'm telling you guys. It does not come from a place of jealousy. It does not come from a place of hatred. It comes from a genuine interest and joy to see the other person thrive. For example, if I know that you want to achieve your dreams of making it big, of getting rich, of owning a car or living somewhere, I am going to support you and have faith in you to do all these things for yourself because I want to see you happy. So sometimes even when it hurts me, usually this doesn't really apply. For example, I'm going kind of all around here. If you are talking to someone, it is better for you to leave if you guys are just not aligning on a lot of the same goals, interests, or values. It is better to leave than to keep hurting yourself and draining yourself, because it's for the better good. I will be happy if you are happy with someone else because we were not happy together. Okay, that might not be the best example, but I hope you guys kind of understand the concept I'm trying to get to. Going back to how this should be reciprocated and it should be equal on both sides, you should want people who want you to become better anyways. Why would you want someone who secretly hates on you, who secretly gossips behind your back, who secretly, not even secretly, some people will be in public, you would think that they are really cheering for you, but deep down they are jealous, they are insecure of themselves, they just don't want to see anyone win but themselves. You literally do not want people that are like that. You're always gonna feel inferior for your own success, okay? That there's no beating these people. You just have to get away from them. You can try to help them, you can support them, you can give them a guide, but ultimately, if those people aren't willing to change or get better or see what's happening for themselves, there is really nothing you can do. All you can do is lay your work down, do what you can do, and they have to step up, okay? That's you giving them the leeway. That's you giving them the path, you know? I am really fortunate and grateful. I have friends in my life who are my iron. I don't know if that's a little corny to say, but they themselves as a person are people that I also strive to be. As I was talking in the jacuzzi, you should be friends with people who you are striving to be, who you aspire to be, who you're working towards. Like, they shouldn't be people you don't care about. They shouldn't be people that you secretly despise. They shouldn't be people that you resent. This is your circle. Why are you choosing friends that are like that? That kind of represents you in a way. If you are choosing these people to be in your life, that not only says something about them, obviously there could be some things that could be worked on, but that also says something about the way that you're choosing to involve yourself in that circle, if that makes sense. Okay? So sometimes sharpening isn't comfortable, but real friends will hold you accountable to that. And you will know when the difference is. Honestly, guys, these are all basic bare minimums, but the ones that show you true, real, good, genuine character and shows up consistently are the ones you should keep. And the ones that don't judge you, they're open to listen to whatever you need to say, because you guys would go to your friends to talk about something, right? You guys would go to your friends just to spend time with them, be in their company. So that is exactly my point. That's just what shapes our life, really. Yeah, you should want people in your life who want you to become better, not belittling you, okay? I'm not saying this to be in this selfish way. I'm not saying this to tell you guys to do things that you think have no consequences, because your actions do affect others, and you do affect the environment around you. So next time you choose to do something or choose not to do something, you and your actions are representing you. Happy New Year, guys. It's been a week. Sorry for the late post. It's been hard to kind of find the words to make this video, but here I am. I found it. So I will see y'all in my next video. Thanks for watching, and good night.